As the Assets and Liabilities Consultant for Imperial Bank, NIC Bank will, on behalf of the Kenya Deposit Insurance Corporation, KDIC, undertake an assessment of the quality of Imperial Bank's assets, liabilities, and support the recovery of loans for the collapsed lender.
You do not have resources in the institution that can pay out 100% of the depositors. So the recovery effort is that much more important. And that's why we are putting all our efforts into that. It isn't as simple, of course, it's true, but nothing is simple in this world.
With the new arrangement of further repayment to Imperial Bank's depositors, the cumulative payout to verified depositors will be about 59%. So what happens to the rest of the deposits?
That will still remain in the hands of KDIC. Let's say after we have recovered additional assets, they will be, let's say, topped up. Okay, so they will be increased. The depositors will get an increasing amount of their deposits as we recover those assets that are still outstanding out there.
The failure by Imperial Bank's shareholders to provide additional capital to put the bank back on its feet has precipitated the CBK's move to seek alternative means to mitigate the frustrations of the depositors.
The shareholders have been unwilling, in my view, to put together a reasonable package that would reopen the institution. The shareholders had promised to put on the table 10 billion Kenya shillings in an effort to reopen the bank. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the shareholders have made it clear to me recently that they no longer have the 10 billion.
Imperial Bank's deposits at the time it was put under receivership stood at 87 billion shillings. Late last year, about 7 billion shillings was paid back to depositors who had 1 million shillings or less deposited at the bank.
NIC will also assume the majority of IBL's staff and branches as part of this.
A forensic audit of Imperial Bank is ongoing, whose findings will inform the CBK's legal case against the fraudsters at the collapsed bank. The High Court ruling to determine whether NIC Bank will get the go-ahead to pay Imperial Bank's depositors is expected on the 4th of July. Alex Mwangi, NTV Business.